This is Calm AF, a podcast for humans who are hard on themselves. A podcast for the overthinkers, people pleasers, perfectionists, and overachievers. I'm Kristen Finch, and I'm going to teach you how to quiet that incessant negative chatter in your head. Because you know what a person with a calm mind can do? Anything they want. Grab your coffee, gorgeous soul, because today's the day you get Calm AF. Hello, gorgeous soul. Welcome to Calm AF. I hope you're having a great week so far, a great day so far. I hope you are taking care of yourself. This is a really busy time of the year, so make sure you are at least taking a minute out, taking a pause to just slow down and give yourself a little reprieve every now and then. So today I want to talk about something. It was just inspired by a conversation I had last week with someone new who reached out to want to work with me. Now, usually when someone shows up in my world, it's because there's something going on in their life that isn't working for them. Maybe their marriage, they're struggling in their marriage. Maybe they hate their job and they want to start something new. Maybe they don't feel how they want to feel in their body or in their home or just in life in general. So there's something that you have that's not working. You don't want it. So one of the first questions I will ask them is, okay, so if you could have everything and you could be living this amazing life that feels how you want it to feel, like, what is that? What do you want? And here's what almost always happens next. They start backpedaling. Well, I mean, everything is okay. It's not that bad. And, actually some of the areas in my life are pretty great. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I'm so fortunate. And they just go on and on and on trying to tell me, before they tell me, answer that question of what do you want, they try and make sure that I know that whatever's coming next, it might sound a little shallow. They just get in their heads, like they're trying to apologize for whatever their answer is going to be. And I've been doing this a long time. I have talked to a lot of women and men, and the answer to this question, what do you want? It's one of the hardest questions for women to answer. And I say women specifically because when I talk to men, this doesn't seem to be an issue. They know what they want and they tell me what they want. So let's talk about why this question, why it's hard for you to know what you want or to let yourself know what you want. Because the thing is, if there is an area of your life that you do want to change or something that's not working you want to improve or a goal you want to achieve, knowing what you want, being able to answer that question, that's not optional. How are you supposed to know how to get what you want if you won't let yourself want what you want? Okay? So in order to answer the question, you have to really unapologetically let yourself go to the place where you're like, this is what I want. And I want to talk today about why that is so hard for so many of you. So let's just dive in. The number one reason, hands down, the number one reason is guilt. So you spent your childhood believing that in order to be happy and successful, there were some boxes you needed to check. There were some rules you needed to follow. Maybe in your world, it was to go to college and find a partner, get married, be a high achiever at work, make good money, buy a house, car, dog, kids. And then what does that look like? You have to do fun family things. You're going to the apple orchard every October. You have a house full of people at Thanksgiving with the perfect Thanksgiving dinner. You go see the Christmas lights, whatever it is. You make the holidays extra special. Climb the ladder. You exercise, you have your 401k, you take your yearly family vacations, or some variation of this. Whatever it is, on paper, you check these boxes. This is what it means to have a well-lived life. So on paper, you should be happy. You should feel fulfilled. But you're not. You're not. And so automatically the guilt shows up. Why can't you just be fine with this life? Why can't this well-lived life on paper be enough? Other people have it so much worse. I should just be grateful. How dare I want more? than what I already have, when I have so much and there's so many people in the world who have it so much worse than I do, who would do anything to have the things I have in my life. The guilt, the guilt, the guilt. Now, guilt, I have to say, is one of the most suffocating and terrifying emotions that we face. Nothing squashes transformation like guilt, and here's why. Most of us think that guilt shows up to tell us we've done something wrong. I wouldn't feel guilty if I hadn't done something wrong, right? And if guilt only showed up for that reason, because you've done something wrong, it would be true. If you punch someone in the face for no reason, and then later you feel guilty about it, that's good. That's appropriate. You ought to feel guilty for punching someone in the face on purpose. Guilt, when it shows up appropriately, moves us to take action like apologize. Sorry for punching you in the face. Make amends. All right, I'll never do that again. It's there to right our wrongs. But guilt showing up because you have the audacity to want something more than what you have right now, because you want something different, is that a reason to have to make amends or to have to apologize, to want something? Is it actually wrong that requires an apology, or is it because you are pushing against societal norms? Starting in an early age, women, girls, are often conditioned to believe there's a set of rules that you need to follow if you want to be considered a good girl, a good woman, a good person, a good daughter, a good mom, a good wife. You prioritize the needs and expectations of others, right? Life is about making sure other people have what they want. And if they have what they want, you're happy because they're happy, right? That's what makes you good. You don't need more. You just need to make sure everyone's happy. And any deviation from this narrative, like expressing the desire for more than this good life on paper, the guilt shows up. And it's just because, it's not because you've done something wrong. It's a way of trying to keep yourself in line. Stay good. Follow the rules. Wanting more than what you have could be considered selfish according to these rules. And didn't you get the memo that you're a woman? You're supposed to be selfless. Didn't anyone tell you that what is supposed to make you happy and fulfilled is just taking care of other people and making sure they're happy? And if they're happy, then you will be happy because that's what it means to be good. And if you want anything outside of that, well, you'll probably be neglecting your responsibilities. It's going to be taking away from other people's happiness if you're pursuing your own happiness. What's that going to do to the people around you if you go off and try and do something for yourself? When you've been taught that your happiness is less important than everyone else's, when you even think about wanting more, guilt is going to be right there to shut that shit down. In order to get past the guilt so you can want what you want, so that you can feel fulfilled and happy in your life, you've got to stop seeing guilt as some feeling that shows up when you've done something wrong. Because most of the time, I would say probably 90% at least of the time, you are using guilt wrong, right? It's showing up as a way to police yourself, to keep yourself following the rules, to make sure that maybe you just need to try harder to feel grateful for this amazing life on paper you have. Maybe you just need to try a little harder because look at what you've got. You should just be happy. That's what you're going to need to do in order to get past the guilt. It's to stop seeing it as this the feeling that shows up that you're like, I have done something wrong. No, you've just bumped up against an old narrative that's keeping you feeling unfulfilled. Knowing this is half the battle. The other half is learning to allow the feeling of guilt to exist in your body without freaking out and saying, never mind, right? Forget I asked. I don't want anything more, right? You have to take away the power from the feeling of guilt in order for it to stop shutting you down. Okay, that is the first one. And that is a big, big, big topic, which I talk a lot about in my programs, but too big for today. So let's move on. Number 2, reason why it's hard to want what you want, ask for more, is fear of conflict. making other people feel bad, right? This is kind of like the sister to guilt. Most of you listening are conflict avoiders. Okay? You will do just about anything to make sure no one gets upset, no one feels bad, no one has to feel uncomfortable, or God forbid, no one is unhappy because of you and something you've done. Now, how do I know that is most of you? Because my podcast, it says it. People pleasers, overthinkers, perfectionists, and overachievers. You're not doing all that work for nothing. It's so that you can avoid discomfort, so you can avoid conflict. You are a peacemaker, or you've been conditioned to be a peacemaker. And listen, if you've checked all the boxes in your life, the mere thought of disrupting that energy that you have worked so hard for because you aren't feeling fulfilled, preposterous, right? Like you're just going to deal. Wanting more than what you have is going to require you do things differently. If you do things differently, the people in your life who have been relying on you to keep things steady might not love it when you start rocking the boat, which could mean conflict. Which then, right, you go straight to, it's just easier. I am used to it. It's just easier if I stay here. I don't need more. I'm fine. This is great. Everything's great. Because you've convinced yourself that unfulfilled or unhappy for you is easier to handle than conflict. It's not, at first, feels like it. The only reason that you think it's easier to live a life that doesn't feel like you, a life that feels unfulfilling, a life where you just feel like you're going through the motions, the only reason you think it's easier to live that life is because you don't know how to manage your own feelings around conflict. Not about other people's, your feelings around conflict. So it's the same as guilt. The answer is to learn how to feel your feelings, your own feelings. Learn how to feel that discomfort in your body and get through it. Everything comes back to this, really. This is why I do what I do. This is why I coach the people that I coach. Once you learn how to feel your feelings, you'll see it's not easier walking around feeling unfulfilled. It's easier feeling fulfilled, and you can still take care of people. That's the best part. You just got to learn how to handle uncomfortable feelings. You've got what you need to create the life you want as long as you have that. All right, number 3, the fear of being ungrateful. Oh my gosh. I call this the dark side of gratitude. And I kind of touched on it already when we were talking about guilt. But there's this idea that if you want more than what you have, or you want something different than what you have, you must definitely be ungrateful for what you already have now. Right? This thought, like, I should just shut my mouth and be grateful for what I have instead of wanting something else. That's the thought we have. Here's my question. Why not both? Why can't you be grateful and want more? Why can't you be appreciative of what you've got and ambitious? Why can't you be okay with where you are and want something more? There's a phrase, one of my favorite mantras, I use it all the time. My clients have heard me say it. This or something better. I don't know where this came from. I did not make it up, but I use it a lot. Being grateful for what you have doesn't mean, thank you so much for all that I have. And I swear to you, I swear on my life, God is my witness. I promise you, I will never, ever, ever, ever even consider wanting anything more from now on. This is enough. This is it. This is all I need. Right? That's what we do to ourselves. It sounds silly and dramatic, right? But basically, it's like, I can't be grateful and ever change ever again, right? I've got to just stay in this spot for the rest of my life because this is where I need to be grateful. You can be grateful and want what you want in order to feel fulfilled. You can be grateful and want something more, something better. Hey, we get to have both. We get to have it all. So those are the 3 biggest obstacles that are probably getting between where you are now and where you want to be. 3 reasons why you won't let yourself just want what you want because you're scared, because of the guilt, because of the conflict, because of the fear of being ungrateful. These are the things that are keeping you from wanting what you want and getting what you want. So that said, let me ask you the question. What do you want? Taking away any guilt. If you knew there wasn't going to be any conflict, if you knew no one would think you were ungrateful for wanting it, what do you want? You're allowed to want what you want. You know what's universally true about life and about humans specifically is that we are constantly changing. Your desires are allowed to change as you change. You're allowed to want to feel fulfilled in your life. Oh my gosh, it's not asking too much. You don't have to blow up your whole life. You don't have to turn everything upside down. You just start taking baby steps because you know this is what I want and this is how I'm going to get there. If you want some help with this, I go into this in the Future Self course. So this is a course that is available for you to have right now. It's based on my annual goal writing Future Self workshop that I've been doing for 1,000 years. This course, though, is a do-it-yourself. It takes you all the way through how to set goals that you will actually achieve. And Module 1 is all about the importance of letting yourself want what you want, letting yourself really go there and dream big. So if you already own this course, or if you're a Calm AF Life member or a client, yes, you get to come to this year's 3-hour workshop. It's happening on January 14th. If you can't make it live, you will get the replay. You can ask me questions. If you don't own the course yet, you can get that link in the show notes, and then you will also get the invite to the January 14th workshop. But listen, if you want anything to change, you have to let yourself want what you want. There's just no way around it. No way around it. And you deserve it. You can have a life that feels fulfilling. You can want that. It's okay. All right, gorgeous soul. I hope you have a great rest of your week. And I will see you next time. Thanks for listening. And before you go, one more thing. So as you know, I am slightly obsessed with helping as many humans tap into their calm AFness as possible. So if this podcast has helped you, would you please leave a review, make sure you're subscribed, and share it with your friends. Also, make sure you head on over to KristenFinch.com to see how you can work with me. You can sign up for my emails and get any other goodies I have available. Until next week, I love you so much. I am so grateful that you're here. I'll see you next time.